Word Laos.
Welcome to Travel Talk, brought to you by the Hotel Guide, the global voice of luxury and boutique hospitality. Featuring Edward Leos.
Good morning, everybody. Edward Leos here, publisher of the Hotel Guide and your host of Travel Talk. Today's actually a special edition, totally unscripted, totally off the cuff, but it's actually my birthday. I turned 55 today. And you know what's kind of interesting is I actually had a whole scripted um, but a whole scripted podcast that I was going to do and went through it, did it. And I was like, you know what? Life is about being authentic. And what better way than to just be authentic than on your birthday and do something live? And, that kind of scares a lot of people to do that. And I was actually sitting here before I went on and did this and was thinking and prayed a little bit. And I was like, just kind of give me I asked for God to kind of give me that direction and where to go. But I think there's going to be somebody out there that this message is going to resonate with. But 55 years on this earth is not something to sneeze at. Not everybody gets that opportunity to do that. And I'm really thankful that I have that opportunity to do that. So, life's been a little bit of a journey, both up and down. For everybody who knows me, I'm the publisher of the Hotel Guide and been doing that for 33 years now. So, being involved with the magazine since I was 22, I guess, and seeing all of life's changes over the last 33 years with the magazine has been phenomenal. I can remember when we first launched the magazine, or actually when the magazine first came out, I came at the second edition that came out, which was actually in April, which is around my birthday month. It came out and, it was sent out there. It was distributed into all 50 states. It was an amazing publication, still is. And I remember when I took the chance, it really was an opportunity where I could have gone a whole different direction. I had two jobs that I was up for. One was a recruiter and then the Hotel Guide. And obviously the recruiter position was going to pay way more money up front at the instance. But this is why I believe God put me here as this journey. Phone call came, and it was the former owner of the publication, Robert, and he would like to offer me the job as an account executive. It was $1,000 a month and 20% commission, had no contacts or nothing. And I took the job, and I seriously mean 3 minutes later, after I hung up the phone, I got the call from the other company saying that they were having their big bosses come in because they wanted to offer me the job for the recruiter position. I always reflect a little bit on that in terms of how life could have been if the roles were reversed. Would I have taken that job that had more money at the time, or would I have said still to wait? So I'm thankful from the very beginning that I was aligned on this role, this path to go down through the Hotel Guide by making that decision. And so obviously I came on as an employee, didn't have any contacts, built it into a little bit. And when I was 25, like I said, Robert, the former owner, he offered me to buy the magazine. And so here I was, this 25-year-old guy, actually kid at the time, had no business experience. And this is before, YouTube and mentors and all of that stuff. And I took the chance. And so I'm 25-year-old publisher, had a little boy, Garrett, and had a staff. And so life became completely different. I went from making pretty decent living as an employee to really making no money. And it was one of the hardest things even to date that I've done, because I remember, speaking authentically here, having creditors come to my office. And I remember, and I've told this to people before, but this is sharing it to the masses now. I remember being dressed in a suit and sitting in the corner of my office, actually in tears, wondering how I was going to make payroll, wondering how I was going to help pay creditors and debtors while I had one knocking at my front door of my office. It was humbling, but it was also a life lesson that I needed to kind of go through as well. So it also helped shape me who I am today. Cause I remember back then the world was ending for me. It felt that way. It felt like the stress and everything that was kind of happening to me was just crushing me. And because I had responsibilities to not only my staff, but to the family and to everything that was going on. And so I remember trying to work at rebuilding. And I remember taking that lesson and going, what can we do to get better at this magazine and how can we make it better? And it took a long time and it took a lot out of me when you're doing that. We got back on our feet, got things going with the publication. It was a little bit up and down through the years, obviously, as 33 years would go. But I remember finding myself trying to figure things out on my own. And that's why I look at where we are in society now and having the opportunity to have mentors via YouTube, mentors via Instagram, mentors that you can reach out to and follow who are just putting content out there on a daily basis. We didn't have that back in the old, I call it the old days. But back in back in the 90s, back in you know, the old years. But it was one of those things where I was able to kind of just figure things out. So I'm pretty good at that, being strategic minded. And so I started doing that. So we went and fortunately got the domain name of The Hotel Guide back in 1997 before the internet was cool. And if we hadn't, there's no way in the world I'd have that domain name that we have now. And so kind of going through life and the ups and downs of everything that's happened, whether that's through family or, loss, and just the ability to kind of go and create something has been a journey. And when I'm talking about the hotel guy, the reason I talk so much about it because it has been such a big part of my life, but it's also been things that have given opportunities to my kids, for the families to be able to go and see great places that maybe we would not have been having traditional opportunities in our career. But it also has given me the opportunity to see things at a different level. And what does that actually mean? It actually means that I've been able to be more humble in what I'm doing because God has helped humble me through the years. For those of you who knew me from the very beginning, I always looked like a younger kid. So I always tried to dress more professional. I was always that person. I didn't make mistakes. At least I didn't show them. Obviously, I did make hundreds of mistakes, but I never was that guy who would go out there and own up to them and go, "Hey, I screwed up there." And no, I didn't make errors. And so it took that humbling, it took that refining through the years to be able to go, man, that's not reality, Edward. That's not being authentic. That's not being your true self. And so when I align with John Maxwell as a leadership coach, one of the number one things he talks about is the law of the mirror. Looking yourself in the mirror and going, hey, you're screwing up, or you're messing up, or hey, you're doing amazing. Like, let's roll. And you can lie to other people in this world. And I've noticed that you're able to kind of fake it on Instagram or fake it on Facebook or social media. But in reality, when you're in the law of the mirror, you really can't look at yourself in the mirror and lie to yourself. You may be for a little bit, but you can't do it consistently, because what you see in that reflection is what you get back. And so it really taught me a life lesson there when I aligned with John Maxwell, because it also gave me the opportunity to switch from me to we. I was very centered on how can I make money in this and just focus on that. And as you move forward into the pattern where I am now with the hotel guide and with my company and everything, it's really about how can we be successful, which is why I now have a board of advisors that is just fantastic and helping me out, guide this magazine, guide this company. But it's also the ability for us to go out there and understand that we can't make it to the top. I mean, you can make it to the top by yourself, but why do you want to be up there by yourself? I want to be at the top, but I want to bring people with me along the way. And as you get older, when you turn 55, you start thinking about your legacy. You start thinking about, what that means to you. What does that look like to you? And to me, it's really about, my kiddos, family. It's about that legacy. of, having my amazing wife go through this journey with me, but it's also about the people who help get me here and shape me to who I am today. Am I a perfect person? Far from it. No, far from it. And I think there's a lot of people in this world that wouldn't get on a on a live and go, yeah, you've got flaws, or I've got flaws, and I'll own up to them. And I think that's important to do nowadays. So maybe this birthday message is really a birthday message for Edward, but maybe there's going to be some people out there in this world that are going to go, dang, I'm not quite who I think I am. And maybe I need that little kick in the butt from someone. And maybe this resonates with you. And like I said, when I started doing this podcast on for this episode, I had no plan. I actually just recorded right prior to this a scripted one, and I started watching it and I trashed it. And I was like, just be yourself, let it flow through you. Just speak from the heart and just let it resonate with someone, because I think nowadays everything is trying to be so perfect that imperfection is really where perfection is. And for me, that's important. Authenticity is hugely important. And owning up to who you are and to the mistakes you made, I think, are important. And I've tried real hard recently to be able to go, man, you messed up. You got to own up to it and figure this out. And so, has it always been easy? Nope. Is it always going to be hard? Nope. But my faith, my family, my amazing wife helped get me through this and help get me focused and centered on what matters the most. And so you may be listening to this on LinkedIn or YouTube or Facebook, and you're going like, well, what the heck is this guy's message? What is he trying to talk about? Well, here's an entrepreneur that's been doing this for 33 years. I've seen the ups, I've seen the downs. I've cried in the corner of my office while, creditors were banging at my front door. I didn't know what to do. And I've also been at the highest highs where, I've had thousands of dollars of checks just sitting in my briefcase. And I was like, yeah, I don't feel like going to the bank today, so I'll just walk around with it. This was obviously before you could do mobile deposits and electronic payments and all that. But life has just taught me a lot. And in 55 years, it's taught me grace. It's humbled me. And it's allowed me to own up to who I am, but also it's allowed me to really think about how can I impact this world and who can I impact this world. And so it's also given me the ability to go out there and figure out what can we do to make this world a better place and to make this help a little bit. So I don't want this to be the Jerry Maguire credo that he had out there about just, putting it out there, but I'm okay with, turning some people off by listening to this, because it really is about being authentic, making a difference in this world, whether it's through the hotel guide, whether it's through my coaching, or whether it's just someone who picks up the phone, who sees this and randomly messages me and goes, your talk resonated with me. I'd like to learn more about the kind of person you are and the hurdles that you went through to get to where you are, because nothing is better than going through the muck to get to the win. And I know the victory is coming. I know big things are coming for the hotel guide. I know big things are coming for the coaching aspect of what I do. But I also know I wouldn't be where I am without going through the challenges, without my faith, without my family, and without the friends and supportive people that have been in my life to make this thing possible. So I just want to encourage everybody out there, take this moment to, I hope, take a nugget from what I'm saying is it's not always going to be hard, but it's always not going to be easy. So listen to the moments, be in the moment, find the right people to align with, which is the most important thing. Find the right people to do life with. And if you're a leader, if you're a hotel GM or you're an owner of a company, treat your people right. Be the leader you want to be, and they'll respect you back. And if you need help with that, I'm more than happy to do that. But from my end to yours, I want to just thank each and every one of you for listening to the podcast. We've had over 125 episodes now. Thank you for allowing me to come into your offices, your homes, your workouts, to be able to go and share my thoughts and these incredible guests. But I also just want to thank everyone who's helped me along the way with this journey that I call life, but also with this publication, The Hotel Guide. The best is yet to come. Big things are on the way. I want to thank you for being on this or listening to this episode. I hope you like, I hope you share, I hope you subscribe to The Hotel Guide. Reach out to me on social channels. I'll put that in the show notes too. But I'm an easy guy to get a hold of. But in the meantime, not only about traveling and making memories, but really just stopping, enjoying every damn moment in this life because it is fleeting. And I want to thank you for making my 55th birthday absolutely special by honoring me by listening to this episode. So everyone, take care, travel, make memories. And until next time, we'll talk soon.